it slow, like a tree grows out in the open. These things don't grow over nights long and get old in the morning. Nothing more can make it speed up. Nights are long and the day's getting shorter. Hold her close, father to your daughters, 'cause all things that grow slow can go so fast. Softly the nights fade away, blend into times of midday. Seems slow but goes fast, just like an airplane. When she blows on the waves, constantly subject to change.
So, sorry if the lighting's a little bit different. I filmed the writing of my resolutions for the year while the sun was going down, which was probably a bit of a silly idea. And also, sorry if you can hear the wind whistling through the house right now. It is the first proper breeze that we've had since before Christmas, so we're really soaking it in. I've filmed this video maybe 3 or 4 times this year starting this channel, and every time that I've done it I have just left it and not edited it and not even been brave enough to pursue posting something. And every time I would do a full face of makeup and I would curl my hair and I would wear a cute outfit and I would try and give myself the confidence and boost myself up, but I still couldn't really bring myself to do it for whatever reason. I think that that's partially because I was afraid of what people would think. There's kind of 2 fears. The fear that people wouldn't see it and I would just be posting for nothing and the fear that I would post and people I know would see it and they would think it was dumb. So I'm just putting this out there. I'm doing it, hopefully. If you're seeing this, then I have done it. But I thought the motivation of a fresh year might be the perfect thing for me to get off my butt. So, my New Year's resolutions. I used to do these every year when I was a kid, and I haven't for the longest time. But I thought there might be something nice about just putting it on paper and just saying, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Because I think it's really easy at the beginning of the year to commit to doing something. And then as time goes on, other priorities come, you know, the holidays finish and it's time to go back to work and, you know, you've got things with your friends and birthdays and Easter and all of these things and life just kind of takes over. And this year I don't want life to take over. I want to be present to what's happening and to be intentional with my time. I think that that's something I've been really conscious of for 2022 because during 2021 I feel like it was kind of a blur for me. So hopefully I'll be able to take a grasp and just be intentional with my year. The first intention for the year was to read the whole Bible in the year. So I'm going to be doing the Bible in a Year plan on the YouVersion app by Nikki Gumbel. I've heard really good things about it and I've always tried to be diligent with my Bible study, but it doesn't always come through, and that's me being really honest. I think it's really easy for me to be like, oh yeah, I study my Bible and I know verses and I know particular stories, but do I know it? Like, when I feel far away from God, can I truly say I've tried my very best to read the Word of God and know Him? Or am I just saying I don't feel close to Him, but I'm also not doing everything in my power to read His Word? And I think I can't say honestly that I fully tried. So that's number 1. Number 2 is to breathe deep, be present, and choose active love. And what I mean by that is to be very intentional with my emotions, to be very intentional with the way I connect with people. I was really blessed to be surrounded by a group of friends growing up that were very intentional with their time and with the way they invested in me. And I think that really shaped who I am as a young woman. So for me now, being in a new city, you'll hear more about that when I kind of give you a life update, where we are, what my life looks like, so you can get to know me a little bit. But I'm in a new city, and I have been for the past 2 years, but it still feels very fresh and new, and I've only just started building friendships here. And I think that the best foundation for that is for me to really set the tone with my intentionality, the way that my friends set that tone for me when I was becoming close to them. So I'm hoping that, you know, if I think of someone, I don't just think of them, but I actually do something about it. Or if I'm feeling, you know, a particular way, I can express that in even just a moment where I feel like I love someone and I want to express that. I want to be able to be very clear about how I want to care for them and show them love. So that's number 2. Number 3 is to go outside more. I'm ashamed to say I've spent a lot of time holed up in my office at work. To be fair, I have been working, but my job is a youth minister, so I'd love to get out, walk around, try and actively socialize a little bit more with the kids. I still think I've done a good job of that, but just to actively pursue that a little bit more. But even outside of work, in my own life, I think I get home, I'm tired, and I just flop, and I'm just done for the day. But it'd be really good if I can spend some time outside, go to the beach. We live 5 minutes from the beach. Just sit there and enjoy it. I did a bit of that at the beginning of the year, but as time went on, my habits of that slipped, and I could tell the absence of it in my life. So go to the beach, have some reflection time, go for a walk around our neighborhood, just interact with creation and be present to that. That would be really nice. And I feel like that's when I feel most centered and most ready to take on whatever else is happening in my life. Number 4 is I just wrote 15 minutes a day, and then I wrote dot points underneath. What I mean by that is 15 minutes per dot point, not 15 minutes all rounded up. So 15 minutes of time with the Lord. You might have been able to tell by me saying as my number 1 to read the Bible in a year. But I'm Christian. I believe in Jesus. I love him. And I have since I was in high school. I started taking my faith a lot more seriously when I hit 18. And since then, I've been trying really hard to grow in my walk with Jesus. And I feel like a lot of the content online that I see is like, I mean, yeah, it's curated, obviously. So it looks like all of these people have their faith lives, you know, tied up in a big bow, and that they're so close with God, and that it almost makes you feel like, oh, like I could be doing so much better. And I think that's true for all of us. We can be doing so much better in our walk with Jesus, but I want to be really real with whatever this channel becomes. And the reality is that as much as I love God and as much as I've walked with him for years, my prayer life is not what it could be, and it does suffer. And it's not regulated. It's just kind of, you know, I need to put aside intentional time, because as much as it's great to have those, you know, moments of worship at church, or those moments of shooting up a prayer in my head while we're driving or whatever, I think it's really important that I set aside dedicated time to pray. And that kind of goes back to my first point of, can I really claim that God is not close to me if I'm not making every move that I can to be close to him? Because that's like if you have a friend and you're like, I don't feel close to them, but you never reach out to them, like, or you don't reach out to them to the full capacity. So I'm going to do that. Sorry, this video is kind of heavy, but I'm trying to be light. Another 15 minutes a day that I want to start is exercise. I love doing a little bit of active stuff, but I think before I start doing it, like I can G myself up and be like, yeah, I'm going to work out, and then just before I do it, I'm like, oh, but I'm tired, or oh, but I prefer to do this, or I get caught on my phone, or whatever. So I would love to do 15 minutes at least of exercise a day. And this is all 15 minutes minimum. If prayer goes over time, amazing. If exercise goes over time, awesome. Like, it's still something that's good for me, but minimum 15 minutes. And the last one is focus on heart to heart with Justin. So that's my husband, Justin. We've been married almost 2 years. We have our wedding anniversary on the 25th of January, so not too far away. And I think we do this pretty well, but I guess this is a continuation of like just that intentionality that I was talking about, but specifically for him, just making sure I check in on his heart, check in on how his week is going, on, you know, what's going on in his life, if he needs my support in any area, if he feels like I need to grow in any way. I just want to make sure that I am making myself available and open and really initiating that as well, because I think sometimes I can be like, oh, we're so busy, but you know, just making sure I set aside time for him is really important to me. And then the last one, which is why I'm here sitting down, is to make creation that my English in here, if you read that in my little clip at the beginning, oops, okay, it's fine, whatever. Make creations that inspire me, inspire others, and connects me to people. And then like the second part of that resolution or intention is to be brave and share it. So like I said at the beginning of this video, I've been really fearful of what people will think or of whether I'll be successful at this. And I feel like I used to have a really beautiful creative spark. I don't know why that makes me feel a little emotional, but I used to have a really lovely creative spark that just really set the tone for me to be in awe all the time and to be inspired all the time, and for comments from the people around me saying they're inspired by me. And I've let that slip, and that's on me. I've really been sucked into routine this first year of working full time. And I've also really been sucked into social media, which sounds kind of counterintuitive because I'm making videos, but like I've been sucked into pointless social media, if that makes sense. There's been no motivation behind it. It's just kind of an addiction, I guess, that I'm working through. So I want to make this a space where I can make stuff, make videos, talk to whoever's out there. And I'm going to try really hard not to be scared of whether anyone will see it or see me or be interested in me or ridicule me or whatever. And I'm hoping that that can help me get my spark back for those creative things. So, being brave, posting this, and hopefully you'll see another video coming really soon. If you are watching this, feel free to chuck a comment down below, because I think that will satiate or calm a lot of my fears. If I actually see people connecting with what I'm doing, then maybe it won't be so scary to post the next thing. But I'd really love a couple of video ideas. I'd really love to do my testimony. I'd really love to talk about who I am. So if you watch this, we can actually be friends. I used to love the old YouTube days where, like, you know, the British YouTubers? I used to love those days where you really felt like you were in their life. I think nowadays vlogs can seem so like scarily perfect in a way. I still love watching them because I love that feeling of being in people's lives, but I think the messiness of how vlogs used to be, in a way, like really connected with me and made me feel like I was actually best friends with these people, like Zoella or like, you know, Tanya Burr or all those people. So I guess my goal for this is to create a little space like that where people can actually connect with me and feel like they're close to me, and I can feel like I'm close to them. And hopefully we can both grow a little along the way, and it won't all be faith related content either. It'll be, you know, whatever I'm feeling like sharing. So I really love fashion. It might be fashion. I really love, you know, creative little snippets. So it might just be little collections like the beginning of this video. Hopefully I'll grow in that area, because I know that, you know, it's pretty basic at this stage, but it could be fun. Hopefully when the pandemic eases up, it'll be travel. I'd love to do some travel videos, and Q&As, and definitely faith-related content. And I'll try and be as real, raw and honest as possible. And also kind of like a scrapbook of my life. So if there's any memories I want to store, they might just be stored there. And it will be a great way of me sharing stuff with my family and friends who are so far away from me, at my old side of the country, but also whoever else decides to watch. So I hope that you want to step into this journey with me. If you have any questions for me, feel free to comment them. If you have anything that you'd like to see from me to talk about or share about, drop a comment. Please subscribe. If you feel moved to send this to a friend, do that as well. And let's see if we can build something really special that is really pure. I would really love that sort of community. So I hope I'll see you around. And if I don't, I hope you have a beautiful week, a beautiful year, and a beautiful life. So thank you so much, and I'll talk to you soon.
Constantly subject to change.